everyone, welcome to News Generation. In today's episode, we'll talk about punishment in school and what you think about it. This comes in the wake of the sad story about a boy who died from a cutlass wound when he was punished to read. A person with albinism does not have the pigment which gives the skin or hair color. We'll tell you Rosemary's story and how her dream of being a nurse was cut short due to her condition. And Tab 2 Educate, it's all about a new app which could mean paperless exams. Stay with us.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.
So our very first story, students of Efijase Senior High School in the Ashanti region are full of grief following the death of 18-year-old Ebenezer Kusi. According to authorities at the school, Ebenezer had been punished to read, during which he sustained an injury and bled to death. Some young people have expressed strong views about weeding or clearing grass as a punishment. They believe not every child can or knows how to read.
It's a dangerous punishment because reading can cause you more harm, and punishment is not to take someone's life away, it's just to reform the person. So I think the reading that are given to stand as a punishment must be abolished. Maybe instead of reading, maybe they can give them caning, writing, squatting, or any form of punishment apart from reading.
I think it's not good because maybe the person is not trained to read at home and the person is not perfect in reading or in holding the cutlass, so maybe the person can get injured in reading.
I think it's not good because maybe the person is not good at reading and end up hurting themselves or getting a serious injury, and it might lead to death. So I think it's not good. So they have to reduce it.
Giving it to students to do as a form of punishment can be dangerous to their health, as it happened to the boy. If they could have given him another punishment other than reading, it wouldn't have taken his life away.
They should consider those who don't know how to read, and it will help.
Sad one there. Now, to punish is to give an undesirable or unpleasant task in response to a particular action or behavior which is seen as unacceptable or threatening. Justifications for punishment include a way to deter, rehabilitate, or correctional. School authorities and teachers have different kinds of punishment they give out when students do something wrong. But some child rights activists have described some of the punitive measures as dangerous and abusive. So we ask some of you, what is too much or what is acceptable?
I think some of the punishments they used to give to a student, some of them are not in a correct manner.
I think the limited punishment for the student is writing, because writing will enhance the student to write legible, and they will learn how to write. And the bad part of it is that when writing, the ink may finish. So that enables the student to spend much money on buying pen.
I think the extent they can go is allowing the student to hop, because at least when they hop, even though their thighs will be paining them back, they will learn a lesson from it next time, that when we did this, we hopped and our thighs were paining us and we could not walk well.
They should not punish them, because punishment, some people they think punishing them are just worrying them. So if you leave them, I think that's better.
I think the punishment that the teacher is supposed to give it to a student is like kneeling, or you just squat. That will be a little bit okay for the students. It's better than to punish the students to go and scraps and do other things.
Even caning them, you hurt them. So punishment, you can inflict pain on a person or can hurt a person.
I think they should write,
so that some of those who do not have the good handwriting can start writing well. And I can also say they should hop to let them also exercise. Maybe some of them have also exercise.
Teachers normally punish students for wrong this dance, and there are some that are really like hard on them, so they normally don't the punishment they used to give them is too much for them. So I think they shouldn't go about caning. Caning also reforms children or students from bad days. And also I don't think they should let them read. Reading is something that also causes wounds on their hands when they read. You know, when the reading is for boys, and it's also not good.
Those were some of your views there. We'll take a break now. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, how do you feel about having to carry a lot of books to and from school? What about the many papers you have to keep and even using papers for examinations? All this could be a thing of the past, as technology company TAP has developed an application to make education paperless. Some young people who took part in the roadshow to showcase the app spoke about how different it would be to write exams without paper.
Easy moment for these pupils here. They are working on past examination questions, but this time there are no question papers. This is because they are answering the examination questions on tablets called Tap to Educate. An application is loaded on these tablets, which is used to load educational content like examination questions. Some of them have already finished answering the questions on these tablets. They share their experience about writing exams on a different medium.
Well, it's exciting. Today is my first time doing it, and I'm very happy doing it.
Here we normally use paper and pen, so we are addicted to that one. We know how to use that one, but this one it's like something new, and we don't know much about it. So we were asked, we wait for the people to show us what to do and stuff.
It's not that different, but just that writing on the paper, you are going to write with pen, and then on a tablet, you're just going to tap the answers you think is right.
Kweku Kwanzaa is the group head of Alchem Global Group, promoters of Tap to Educate. He says their aim is to make education paperless and exciting, especially for children.
And our goal is to target school kids using technology, finding out how technology can impact their learning. So the idea is to radically transform how students learn, in particular students in public schools, how they learn through technology. What we have done is we've put their curriculum, we've associated with partner content providers to give us content, educational content for learning. We invite corporate Ghana to buy into it as part of their CSR to public schools. We expect financial institutions to set up schemes where parents can walk into their institutions and buy these devices for their kids.
For some of these pupils, writing and doing examinations without bulky books and papers is a dream they want to realize.
It's something that will help us a lot, because as for the tablet, it's like a mobile phone. And most of us, we have mobile phones. We just sit down to take the mobile phone, tap the internet and stuff. But if you have the tablet and you have the answers like this on it and the questions on it, you sit down and you just be working it out. It's like you are typing or working, chatting with someone. So it's like it will help us in more learning than the paper and the things.
The questions that they bring is they have mistakes on it, or like some of the printings fade, so we don't see clearly and we have problems there. So using the tablet, I think things come clearly and we get the right words and understand what we are doing and do it well.
Some teachers who have seen how the application works are appealing to the Ghana Education Service to take up the Tap to Educate initiative.
Very, very fixed on that. If the GES adapt it in performing the BEC exams, I think it will do away with that kind of cheaty examination malpractices, and then children will be able to work with speed and finish on time as compared to the paperwork.
Let's now go to Kaswa, where for many young boys there, their best shot at earning money is through pushing trucks on market days.
This is a typical rush hour time at the Kaswa New Market. Boys, young and old, are wheeling goods of traders to their various sheds for safekeeping. They wheel these goods for a price, depending on the distance one goes. With a minimum of 2 cedis, they convey goods as heavy as 100 kilos. 14-year-old Solomon Amankwa and his friend Isaac Opon are roaming through the market with their wooden-like wheelbarrow, popularly known as wanta. They are hoping to catch the attention of market women who want their goods conveyed to the bus terminal. They have been wheeling the wanta during the afternoon, but have not even earned more than 10 cedis. Solomon and Isaac face stiff competition from other wanta operators. This is their very first time of trying their hands at wheeling wanta.
I came here to sell sachet water. After that, I decided to help Solomon.
Isaac told me he had finished selling his sachet water. When I met him, I told him we will share the money we'll get from wheeling the wanta.
Solomon and Isaac came all the way from Ufanko in the Wutu Senya district of the Central Region. According to Solomon Amankwa, he had the wanta with the hope of earning some money to buy some educational material he will need for school. He is not in school today because his school is on vacation.
I wanted money to buy notebooks for school. That is why I came here. I started not long ago, but I have not gotten enough money than I had hoped for.
After roaming about for some time, Solomon realizes it's not easy wheeling the wanta.
It's not easy at all pushing the wanta to earn some money. I don't see any future in pushing the wanta. It is only through education that I have a future.
He plans to go back doing what he loves, selling sachet water.
Because we name you my pure time to me, I do my 150, 200 na didn't.
I won't come here again to push the wanta. I'll concentrate on selling sachet water, which I sometimes earn between 15 cedis to 20 cedis.
Hours after hiring the wanta, Solomon has earned 6 cedis.
4 minutes started and we are 3 cedi. Because
I started pushing wanta around 4 p.m. and I have managed to earn 6 cedis, of which 3 cedis will be given to the owner of the wanta. We will share the remaining 3 cedis among ourselves.
I command 3 cedi. Naka 3 cedi. Na me I 15.
Now let's look at albinos who face discrimination in Ghana. We'll tell the story of Rosemary, who dropped out of school because of her condition as an albino.
22-year-old Rosemary lives in a wooden structure at Railways, a slum behind the VIP transport station at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra. She has been living in the slum for more than 5 years. Rosemary's story is one of disappointment and regret, which is no fault of hers, but something which could be blamed on her condition. She is an albino, and because of this, her ambitions were cut short. Like any other child, Rosemary had dreams of becoming someone important one day. She wanted to be a nurse to help others. But like many albinos, Rosemary has a visual impairment which made schooling difficult.
Na me call school, but na manual harm meant to me.
I had an eye defect, so I couldn't finish schooling. I dropped out in class 5. When writings on the board are small, I can't see, but I can when they are bigger. I'm always the only one left in class when we go on break, because that's the time I used to copy my notes. So I got discouraged and stopped schooling. In class 1, my teacher was very understanding. I told him my problem, so he always wrote my notes for me after lessons.
According to Rosemary, her new teacher was not patient enough to assist her cope in class. Frustrated, she dropped out.
When I went to class 4, the teacher didn't have time for me. So I was discouraged and dropped out. When the writings are big, I can see, but when they are small, I can't see. My grandmother had no help, so she was even excited that I had dropped out. Things could have been different if my parents were around.
Rosemary's inability to complete school due to her disability highlights the plight of children with albinism in Ghana. For the lucky ones, they could go through school to secure their future through education. But for others who are unable to cope, like Rosemary, they become paupers. Rosemary is now an attendant at a chop bar at the Adabraka market in Accra, far removed from the nurse she wanted to be. Even after school, getting a job is a Herculean hurdle. The director of the human rights group, Amnesty International, Lawrence Amesu, says more must be done by all to end discrimination against albinos.
Every human being, once you are born as a human being, you come to this world with fundamental human rights. And albinos have rights to live as human beings, as we all know.
There are also several myths about albinos which are not true, and the president of the Albinism Association of Ghana is unhappy about how people spread these myths, increasing discrimination against them.
A lot of misconceptions, and one that we are supernatural human beings, we don't die, we just vanish, and that is falsehood. And anytime I hear somebody saying that, I try to, educate them that no, this is wrong. We die. Especially people die having cancer. We've seen members, like 3 of them die, through cancer. There are a whole lot of, maybe a white man impregnated your mom. And that's one other thing too, is that they think that it's even an irony. You said we are cursed, but you still believe that our body parts are good for magic.
Acceptance is all they want.
Let's now take a look at other stories which have made headlines in the past few days.
A foam mattress warehouse at Achimota in Accra has been completely destroyed by fire. Firefighters had a tough time bringing the blaze under control. 4 fire engines had to be used to try and control the blaze for over an hour. The smoke from the burning warehouse was so intense that it could be seen miles away. Manny Pacquiao is the subject of a lawsuit in Nevada after being accused of lying over a shoulder injury he sustained before his fight against Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas. The Nevada Athletic Commission says Pacquiao, 36, did not declare the injury on a pre-fight questionnaire, but the boxer says he was transparent and a treatment plan had been agreed. 2 people in Nevada have alleged the boxer defrauded ticket buyers, television viewers and gamblers. The Liverpool striker Daniel Sturridge has had successful surgery on a hip injury in the United States. The 25-year-old England international has played just twice since he picked up an injury in the 2-1 loss to Manchester United on March 22. Sturridge scored 24 goals from 33 appearances last season, but has been blighted by injuries this term, appearing in only 18 matches. It is the second time this season he has travelled to the United States in an attempt to rectify his fitness problems. Burundi's constitutional court has ruled that President Pierre Nkurunziza can run for a 3rd term. Under the constitution, presidents can only be elected to 2 terms in office, but it was argued that his 1st term does not count as he was appointed by parliament. The announcement has led to a renewed protest in the capital. The Constitutional Court's vice president had earlier reportedly fled the country, citing death threats. At least 12 people have died in what is seen as the most serious unrest since the end of a civil war in 2005.
And that'll be all for today's episode of News Generation. My name is Abigail Adomakwinchi. Many thanks for watching.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.